Hello, I'm Nicole. Welcome to tonight's Advent Storytime. First, let's light the Advent wreath. We're lighting 3 candles for the 3rd week of Advent. Tonight, I will read Treasure Up These Things. She treasured the memories stored up in her heart of shepherds and angels, and how from the start she'd promised to love and to care for God's Son, this Jesus, Emmanuel, the Mighty One. But Mary kept all these things like a secret treasure in her heart. She thought about them over and over. Luke 2:19. If Mary had owned a treasure box where she could store her precious memories, what do you think would be inside? If photography had been invented, oh my God, let me start over. Bloopers. I'll just start reading at the top. She treasured the memories stored up in her heart of shepherds and angels, and how from the start she'd promised to love and to care for God's Son, this Jesus, Emmanuel, the Mighty One. But Mary kept all these things like a secret treasure in her heart. She thought about them over and over. Luke 2:19. If Mary had owned a treasure box where she could store her precious memories, what do you think would be inside? If photography had been invented all those years ago, Mary's treasure box might contain photographs of the angel Gabriel, of her and Elizabeth standing together, of the donkey that carried her to Bethlehem, the happy couple smiling with their brand new baby boy, a group of shepherds gazing at the new arrival, and a trio of wise men dressed in finery. But even if photography had been invented, Mary didn't need a treasure box because she stored all those precious memories in her heart. In Mary's heart, she kept all her memories safe of how the angel Gabriel had brought the amazing news, her precious time spent with Elizabeth, the long, hard journey to Bethlehem, and the wonderful night when Jesus was born. Mary would never forget the visit from the shepherds who had rushed to the stable that night, and how later those 3 wise men had brought splendid gifts and knelt in front of her son. Mary thought back over everything that had happened, all the people she'd met, all the places she'd visited, and all the words she'd heard. And she thought deeply about each moment and what it all might mean. We are almost at the end of our Advent journey. It's a good time for us to pause and treasure up all the things we've seen and heard. We've visited many places together through these pages. We've traveled to Jerusalem with Isaiah, to Nazareth with the angel Gabriel, and we've walked to Ein Kerem with Mary. We've journeyed to Bethlehem on a donkey and ridden on camels across the desert with 3 wise men. We've met some wonderful people too. Beginning with the prophet Isaiah, we've spent time with Mary and Elizabeth, Joseph, and the angel Gabriel. We've encountered the innkeeper in Bethlehem, a choir of angels in the sky, shepherds in the fields, and 3 magnificent magi who worshipped the king. The stories of all the places we've visited and all the people we've met are woven together to create one big story. But this story isn't finished yet. The day Jesus came to earth was really only the beginning. The story of Jesus continues through you. You can be a part of the Christmas story as you worship Jesus like the wise men and spread the good news about his birth like the shepherds. You can be a part of the most wonderful story in the world. Please pray with me. Help me, God, to be a part of the Christmas story as I worship Jesus and tell others about him. Amen.